Welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, the only show on Indian television right now where you, the MSME, get sent a stage to voice your opinions and thoughts. This is ET Now's special daily initiative to give MSMEs and entrepreneurs the opportunity to be front and center in every industry and area that matters to you. Today on the show, on Direct Connect, a panel of experts answering your queries, and later on the show, we will feature Crazy Corn on a Small Giant segment. On our show today, we have Sushanto Mitra, founder and CEO of Lead Angels, and Ramanujam Narayan, founder of Contractor Universal, taking in all of your questions and queries that have come in to us. At the end of the show, we'll tell you how you can reach us. Today, they're answering some of the questions that have come in previously. Take a look. Ramanujam, Sushanto, thank you gentlemen both very much for being with us here tonight to answer some of the queries that have come in. And let's kick this call-in show off then with a call that's coming to us from A.V. Prasad. Prasad, what's your question?
The crisis or the important aspect to have the improvement of the productivity efficiency in the plant.
All right, so efficiency of productivity in their plant, which could either be how to use their equipment in the machinery better or could be manpower related. If you were to advise him on both fronts, what would you have to say to him?
It looks like a biotech company, so efficiency of the biotech plant sometimes can go, vary. So one is, of course, from a manpower perspective is equally important. From a manpower perspective, I would think that training of the staff to be adequately do the job is an important piece, because some of them may not have the experience, and how can we transfer that experience to the younger lot who have just recently joined. So that is typically one of the issues where productivity falls, because some workers have a high productivity, the newer ones are not as productive, and you can train the people better. And
so you have to factor in for that as well. Sure.
Yes.
Just to add, equipment reliability will be important. A lot of manufacturing companies are today going for ISO certifications. So certain quality certifications will also be important from an equipment perspective. I would say comprehensive and accurate information about the plant floor operations can also help in increasing the productivity, which will really provide real-time feedback to management. So these are some of the important points which one should take care of.
But is that going to be an additional cost for an MSME if they're going to undergo the certification, upkeep, maintenance? Of course, will cost them in the long run, but in the short term, it's going to be more expensive.
It's like, short-term cost versus long-term benefit. So ISO certifications and quality certifications are always beneficial to companies. And considering that, I think this quality certifications matter a lot.
All right, fair enough. Prasad, that's in response to your question, trust. It answers what you were looking for. Our next query is coming to us on Facebook, and Sushanto was talking about manpower. And this one pertains to manpower. Pramod Mishra has written to us on our Facebook page. We'll tell you how you can reach us on Facebook in just a moment. Pramod says he's into the transport vehicle business. He says his workers don't work properly. And if they don't work hard and are asked to work hard, then when they demand that they're paid on time, and if they're asked to do anything, whether it is change their attitude or about payments, then they threaten to leave. He wants to know from our experts how this problem can be solved. That's a tricky question.
Yeah. So transport industry is one of the industry which has got a major set of challenges. So I would say who is the key who runs the transport industry? Those are really drivers, on the ground. So driver training programs, providing best of facilities to them, providing certain recreation facilities, giving them a good ecosystem, and driving a lot of campaigns, educating them about the importance of transport industry, or the cautions what they have to take while driving, and keep them motivated every time, and giving a lot of non-monetary benefits. The benefits need not be monetary every time, is what I feel would really encourage this particular industry to go.
I remember a report that was done on the drivers associated specifically with the IT industry about 3 or 4 years back, and a high percentage of accidents that are taking place is because they are not given even a place to rest, and they're doing 2 or 3 shifts. So like you're saying, there isn't much by way of facilities being given to them.
Absolutely. So it's a tough job. It's a very stressful job driving through India's streets. And the other point that I want to make is that people don't necessarily leave a job because of salary or because of money. So they've done multiple studies to say that only 1/3 of the time do people actually leave for money. Usually it is other reasons why they leave, and they probably want to, look at the reasons why people are leaving, and that is probably a way of stemming the tide.
All right.
A lot of OEMs are already, following this strategy of doing a campaign for drivers, and a lot of OEMs are already doing this.
Okay. So campaigns, but also the benefits, like both of you are saying, in terms of, a place to rest,
So
maybe,
recreation centers,
recreation, etc. Pramod, that's in response to your question. Let's take in our next one, and this is also a call. It's coming to us from Shada Kumar. Go ahead.
We are a software manufacturer, and we manufacture products and want to export it. So how we can get the marketing platform for our business?
Okay, so software products and a marketing platform related to that. Either one of you want to tackle that?
Yeah. So there are industry associations like NASSCOM and iSpirit, especially for products, which showcase Indian companies. They also take them overseas for market visits, and there are as well as government schemes available for export promotion. So he could look at all these three things.
Okay.
Additionally, there are trade fairs and exhibition. As rightly pointed out, the moment you talk about IT and software, it is NASSCOM, who are the parent body who govern all the policies relating to IT. So there are many trade fairs and exhibitions organized by several players in the market. So one can market on that platform, and also digital marketing is one of the modes in which the IT softwares and other IT products can be marketed in a much efficient manner.
Okay.
Because the world is moving digital.
Yeah, and if he's associated with an organization like a NASSCOM or an iSpirit, then mentoring is there, and also the kind of exposure and contacts I presume that you will need.
That's correct.
Apart from the
That's
cost, that will help him. Shada, that's in response to your question. Our next one is an email that's coming to us from Ram Bhatia. Ram says he's into eco-friendly printed promotional products. He wants to take environmentally as well as socially conscious steps to promote his products. His question is how he can improve the skill in his existing employees and make them more efficient, and what sort of training he should be undertaking. A whole bunch of HR and manpower related questions today.
A lot of personal effectiveness, soft skills, and other interpersonal skills related training is something which he'll have to undergo, and also continuous learning on the environmental hazards and other aspects of this eco-friendly products particularly. And a lot of companies is moving towards this particular objective in mind, but a lot of times what happens is employees are not moving in the same direction as the organization. So keeping the employees sensitized about the organizational products and how it is related to the overall organizational goals is very important. Okay. So relative training will be a technical training relating to products and what are the advantages, disadvantages, and also the soft skills and interpersonal skills.
Sure.
See, I think every individual wants a sense of fulfillment. So one is the work that they are doing, but additionally if they are doing something which helps the environment, I think the workers also need to know what they are doing is also helping the environment. So it's not just about saying that to the customers, but also to the team which is producing that material.
Okay. Ram, that's in response to your question, and like Sushanta was saying earlier, only about 1/3 of employees who quit are very focused on the monetary aspect of it. So do look at everything else, including giving them a sense of purpose, perhaps at their jobs, to keep them satisfied, fulfilled and engaged. We have time for one last question. This is coming to us on Facebook. Surendra Singh has written to us to say they're a leading name engaged in manufacturing, supplying and exporting a broad array of hardware items and mailboxes. He says they're into the export business over the last 7 to 8 years. Their economy, though, however, is completely dependent on the US market, and due to a sudden downfall in the US market, he says his business has been badly affected and they're facing a loss of up to 75%, 3/4 of his business. He wants to grow in another area like interior decoration or interior business, and he says what steps should he take to establish himself. Just before we answer that question, maybe I can tweak it a little bit and say, should he look at another business or should he use the same business and look at another market, because he's already established himself for close to a decade. What would you all recommend?
Yeah, so I think one is that moving too far away from your competencies are not good in a very most markets are competitive, right? There are very few markets which don't have competition. So I would suggest that he look at either the same product and other markets, or similar products and the same market. I think there are, just as much as the US market is maybe going through a downturn, there will be other markets maybe in Southeast Asia or elsewhere which are going up. We could explore those areas, and also related products rather than going into something completely different as interior designing.
Okay, would you agree?
I would agree because competency is an important aspect which one has to think about, and even if he is going to get into a different industry altogether, automation and innovation is going to be a key to success. So even if he is getting into an interior decoration kind of an environment, today a physical interior decorator or anyone will not succeed unless he is into completely innovations, automations. You know, there are mobile operating homes which are getting created. So one has to move towards technology front. Only then he could succeed in the market.
Okay, but what if he is unable to find a market in, say for example, you're saying Southeast Asia for his particular products? The domestic market, I presume, is not looking good, which is why he's looking at the export markets. At what point do you realize it's perhaps not working at all, and that you should make a clean break and cut your losses when you can?
Yeah, so I think, you know, rather than going whole hog into a new market, he could, you know, experiment and do small experiments in different markets and see how, based on those results, invest serious resources behind them, rather than putting all his resources into one particular market.
All right, Surendra, that's in response to your question. Do look at a de-risking strategy and don't stray as far away from your core competency and your core areas as possible, at least till you've managed to get a footing in another industry. Gentlemen, Sushanto, Ramanujam, thank you all very much for being with us here today.
Thanks a lot.
Pleasure.
Time for a break. On the other side of Leaders of Tomorrow, we'll bring you the story of Crazy Corn on our Small Giant segment. To stay tuned. Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight on our Small Giant segment, we're bringing you the story of Crazy Corn. Now, popcorn is nearly impossible to resist for just about anybody, but building a popcorn brand requires product differentiation, a concept that Crazy Corn has embraced with its custom flavored popcorn line. Pooja Jain caught up with its creators and customers to understand what makes this company pop. Take a look.
Putting a new age spin on an age-old snack is Crazy Corn.
The taste of Crazy Corn popcorn is very delicious. Crazy Corn popcorn is the best quality popcorn I had ever eaten in my life.
क्रेजी खाने के बाद आप अपना क्रेजीपन देखिए कितना होता है, उम्र का लिहाज नहीं रहता है।
Crazy Corn is a brainchild of Kaushik Parmar, that is myself.
Crazy Corn has blossomed from a home-based business to a pan-India popcorn enterprise.
Crazy Corn provides different types of flavor, from which tomato flavor is my favorite popcorn.
My favorite flavor is caramel.
I personally love the masala flavor of Crazy Corn popcorn. It reminds me of childhood.
बच्चों के लिए ये खास बनाया था. अभी खाली बच्चों के लिए नहीं है, बड़ों के लिए भी है.
कभी भी क्रेजी बनना है, क्रेजी कॉर्न खाइए, खुद खाइए, सबको खिलाइए.
I love Crazy Corn.
By placing an equal emphasis on flavor and form factor, the company has catapulted itself as a gourmet flavored popcorn brand that doesn't compromise on quality. Here's a glimpse of our conversation with a company that has repeatedly dared to innovate on a signature product like popcorn.
You've built an entire business based on a single product line, popcorn. Walk us through why and how.
Popcorn has a very generic and wide appeal. cutting across age groups, cutting across genders, cutting across rural and urban divide in India. It's the most palatable product. The taste has appeal for everybody, right? Also, the price is very affordable. Margins are healthy. So we saw an opportunity to drive in volumes along with this. Hence, we stuck to one single brand, Crazy Corn, and one single line of business without being distracted and without trying to diversify it too much. So that was the idea.
Entering the gourmet food space as a popcorn entrepreneur 20 years ago, were you considered ahead of your time?
Back then, popcorn was mostly roasted in sand in the most contaminated manner. It was very generic, it was labelless, just available in non-standard packs, manually filled right on the store. And that is where we realized that this product needs more attention, more treatment. That's when we actually imported technology. Technology right from educating our customers, educating the trade, selecting the kernels, sorting them out, processing in the most sophisticated manners possible, packing it in the best possible manner and presenting it to our customers and trade alike in the best manner. That is when we created this brand called Crazy Corn. And what does a brand or Crazy Corn stand for? It stands for a promise of taste, promise of quality, promise of hygiene, promise of aroma, promise of experience.
In the sea of existing available snack food items in the Indian market, how do you position the Crazy Corn brand?
If you look at the positioning of Crazy Corn or popcorn snack, as I mentioned, it cuts across age groups, it cuts across genders, it cuts across rural and urban divide, it cuts across even literacy lines. In popcorn is popcorn, it's a snack. India has a tropical climate, as you know, and with the levels of humidity, it's important to pack it perfectly, airtight, and the best possible manner. Also to stand, to juxtapose your product with international products. The premium appeal is also important. And hence we have different types of packs. For your regular retail outlets, you have a gunny bag. For your, D-Marts and the chains, large chains of the world, we have Crazy Corn premium packs, so on and so forth. India is a multicultural nation. And to cater to different palates, we've created different flavors like butter masala, like chili chatka. We also have a team which keeps working on different flavors. There are a number of them in the pipeline, like peri peri, like Szechuan, like Manchurian. You name it and we might just have it.
Having now created popcorn that caters to the pan-India audience, walk us through your distribution strategy.
Better part of making a good product is making it available to your customers. And for the same, we have focused on our distribution. We have a focused team for distribution, which has a multi-pronged approach for distribution. We made it available across India in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities through various formats of retail. There's a modern trade retail like D-Mart, which is making it available across India, pan-India, and there are traditional retail outlets which are carrying it, and further we have dealers. Also to meet with the modern interface, we have it available on all major online platforms, including Amazon.
Your thoughts on GST and how does it impact the business?
GST is a much awaited bitter pill, okay? Especially in a country like ours where there are multiple layers of taxation, right from the source till the transaction end. And GST promises to probably iron out most of these. But what you see and read nowadays is a lot of scaremongering and a lot of misplaced phobia, I would say. It will have a limited impact on the cost, but trust me, it should be a step further in the promise of the current government's ease of doing business.
Any advice for first-time entrepreneurs looking to enter the gourmet food space?
All I can say, to upcoming budding entrepreneurs is keep your eyes, nose, ears, everything open. When you are looking to invest and we are selecting what kind of business, what vertical within the gourmet industry to invest in, you need to identify demands that are latent demands which don't have the product available, latent demands which don't quite have the flavor, latent demands which don't quite have the service. And look at what is happening internationally in that category. And likewise, identify the opportunity.
With a robust distribution network in place that touches all tiers and a product line that tickles the country's rich range of taste buds, Crazy Corn is well on its way towards becoming India's go-to popcorn provider. Its continued commitment to conducting market research and studying consumer behavior has set the brand a class apart from the competition. And ultimately, it's the mouth-watering kernels, together with the promise of an ever-evolving product pipeline, that has customers all over crazy for Crazy Corn.
Completely out of time on this episode of Leaders of Tomorrow. If you have anything that you want to tell us or want to participate here on the show, write in at leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com. Our official Twitter handle is LOT_ET now. Tweet us your queries there, or at me personally at Sunanda_J. On Facebook, we're on Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. That's our Facebook page, or call us on that number you see on your screen. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.